What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Some commentary for you, man. Mike Straw, Sports Gamers Online. Let me just put it this way. You guys are unbelievably unprofessional. You can say whatever you want about the mistake that I made, and I can't control what anyone else thinks. I can't control anyone else's agenda. I can't control anyone else's opinion. I can control my content. I made a mistake. I owned up to the mistake, and I personally moved on. But to see them create the content they did today regarding me and never having reached out to me, and that's kind of why I'm making this video. Let me explain to you guys where my stance with NCAA football is and how a player could be drafted or come out of college and me not know that they don't have a hand. So the short of this is I went to college in an athletic program and saw firsthand the problems that it creates on both sides. I saw athletes come into a system that were fed from all over the country, that were provided a devalued education because they were an athlete. So basically, what the school did is manipulate these athletes in a way that made the school seem as if they were the reason the athlete was successful, which was categorically false. These athletes were going to be successful truly no matter where they went. The school may have provided an environment to nurture them, but they were only doing that because the school's ultimate benefit was they could use them to help promote themselves and recruit other athletes. Now, in the process of this, they didn't fully, in my opinion, someone as a student, they didn't fully understand the time allotment that a student gets versus what an athlete gets. So you have an athlete that's training, practicing, going to games, traveling, all these things that make up an athlete. Yet they aren't given the same timeshare as someone who is actually there to get a degree and be a student. So you've got an unfair balance in the position of these two individuals who are doing the same things, ultimately getting the same piece of paper. The student does not get a piece of paper that says, I'm a football, baseball, basketball, whatever player that graduated from this university. They get a degree in business or finance or whatever the case may be. So you're devaluing the education one person is getting while you're exploiting another athlete for your own private gain as a school. And I have a real problem with that. I don't support the NCAA. I don't support college sports because of my experiences. Now, if you want to take my experiences and say, well, you're no longer qualified to talk about a video game or you're no longer qualified to talk about football, well, then that's just a little bit insane to me. That's preposterous to say, well, because you didn't know this, well, now you've lost any validity. So I guess that's my response. I would think that if you're going to do an op-ed, if you're going to do a piece that revolves around someone making an error you can't comprehend because of your experiences, that you at least go back to that individual and say, hey, is there something more to this? I don't understand how you couldn't know this. So do you want to sit down and talk and maybe have a way to clear things up a bit more than the 6-minute apology you did? That probably would have been the best way for them to handle it. But again, I can't control them or anyone else or what they think. I can control me. So if the apology didn't totally set the tone of, I was sorry, I apologize, I've moved on, for anyone that needed more background information, that's it in a nutshell. That's how I wouldn't know, that's how I didn't know, and that's how I really never would be able to comprehend in a situation similar to this. It's not as if I'm going to learn from this. I'm not going to support NCAA sports regardless. I don't support collegiate sports because I feel in a very quick way of wrapping this up, I feel it is a very corrupt, unfair, and unjust system that manipulates athletes and devalues the education that others are paying for. If that's not good enough for you guys, then I apologize for that, and I hope that you've had a better experience than I had, because that's the only thing that I can actually base my opinions on, is my experiences. And that ultimately is what led to that video being created. That said, tons of content on the way. Appreciate you checking this out, and I will be back in the week with more commentary.